Hello, this is Surn, and I'm going to give you a quick overview of Season 49 in Mechwarrior Online for me. But before I do, you'll notice a green screen. At the beginning and the end of this video, I'm going to show you the special effects I've been working on while playing the game, and all this happened. So, first off, I want to show you this. If you ever have used a green screen, you use something called chroma key, and a lot of times because of camera focus and white balance and stuff like that, it's difficult to get it correct. So I came up with something for OBS Studio called the remove partial pixel, and when you turn it on, it gets rid of all that, or most of it. I have it set to 90% right now. My chroma key's a little bit weak, so just so I can show it to you. So with that, you can see that it's much better when you use that special effect, and that just goes out and removes any partial pixels that weren't removed by the chroma key. And it's not perfect. You can see a little bit of stuff down here, but it's mainly because I have my chroma key set really weak, as an example. Anyway, Season 49 was interesting for me, right? I had 4-man groups after me in solo queue. I had to deal with a lot of insults, and people were saying I was match score farming, which is about the stupidest thing I've ever heard. There were people in game trying to team kill me, shooting me in the back, and I was playing solo for the most part for Season 49 intentionally to make a point. So I know there's people out there on Reddit that have multiple accounts, and obviously they cheat. And if they cheat at Reddit, I'm sure they cheat in game. So these people coming after me is not a small thing, but they needed to be proven wrong. They try to do something called gatekeeping, and this game is a community game. It's a team game, and we can't allow people that don't really know as much as they think they do to stop other people from contributing with ideas and passion. This gatekeeping is over now. I've proven them wrong. They've lost. Okay? And I'm going to show you why. What they tried to do is they tried to stat shame me and say, well, you're not good enough to have an opinion. We're the best players and you're not. Except they don't realize that the best players aren't all in comp. There's good players that have been around for 20 years who don't have time to be in their little group. There's only, a very small amount of people in comp. It's just one very small group. And it's got an enormous amount of attention because they've been used to promote the game by PGI. So now it's gone to their heads. And they think they're the only ones that can have an opinion because they're the only ones that understand the game. But that's not true. Some of us, like me, I've built games. I've built maps. I've built leagues. I've done all sorts of things. I've built comp. I've done all sorts of things. There's all sorts of people out there with good ideas. They don't have to be experienced like me. They don't have to be as good a pilot as me. They might have a good idea, and those ideas need to be respected and discussed, not attacked and stat shamed by someone who thinks they're a gatekeeper. It's over now. I've shown that the gatekeeping is bullshit, and let me show you how. So one of the things they tried to say is that, well, you're not good enough. You're not as good as we are. So we're the ones that make the rules. We're the ones that have everything to say. And by the way, this little outline here is another thing that you can do for your cameras and stuff now. We put that out in OBS shader filter also. So what do we have? We have overall my dropship pilot account, 59th. I normally don't even try, but this is just to make a point. Lights, number 8. This is at the end of the month, after the month is over, so this is set in stone. Mediums, number 15. Assaults, number 19. Now, because of a lot of the special effects and things that I work on, a lot of the special effects that I work on, I need to have a couple divisions in which it doesn't matter if they come after me with their 4-mans or whatever. So I just use my Surn account, my main account, and I use assaults, or not assaults, but I use heavies and I use lights, and I just played like crazy. I played a total of 711 games this month again. Just testing things. Just seeing how the balance works. Posting videos about when you're playing a non-group against a group and the advantages they have over based on their mech builds being coordinated, their teams being coordinated, them going into battle with the plan, and against a bunch of pugs who might just be leveling a mech. It might be their first or second mech, and maybe they got unlucky and they're up against a comp team and they're like a tier 3 or tier 4 player. You know, I saw one player this season in one of the divisions was like 24-0 because he's playing with his comp team, obviously. If not, then I apologize to you. But apparently he's playing with his comp team, and it's impossible for them to use. And then they say that I'm match score farming, when that is stat farming. Okay? Just the same, it's just different. The difference is I played all these games solo to make this point. The point is, there's all sorts of ways to be a good player. Okay? There's a lot of ways. I understand builds. I know how to make mechs. I can figure out ways to play the game that's not cheating and not exploiting, but allows me to do well, even though I may be playing 1 versus 23. There's a lot of good players with a lot of good ideas who should not be stat shamed or gatekeep away from making contributions to the community. It's just that simple. So they attacked me, but it's not just me. They've attacked anyone who comes forward, and it's not them, a very small group of people who try to make decisions about the gameplay. So now we have a completely unbalanced soup queue where the groups, a 4-man group is going to make the tonnage way unbalanced versus a bunch of pugs, and they'll go, and the players will go in there, and some of the teams won't understand that this is not faction play, it's not comp play, so it's not their team. They should follow the rest of the team, or at least lead the rest of the team. They can't just expect the rest of the team to do what they think they should do. So that's something where they have to learn how to do. But other than that, it's just completely unbalanced as it is now. So I present that we need to reduce the tonnage by 5 to 10 tons per player in the groups that are playing in the solo queue. That's not really that much. We know from faction warfare that balancing with tonnage works a lot. And we know also because a lot of the comp players misunderstood what I was saying and went out and proved my point that they don't need that extra tonnage. There's no reason for an organized team of players that have coordinated builds to also need a tonnage advantage. So that's the point I'm trying to make. This is something simple. Gatekeeping is over. You've been proven wrong. You're not the only good players out there. You don't know everything. If you think I'm match score farming because I'm using AMS on a Wolfhound, how would that possibly affect an assault mech? It's not even a reasonable insult. It's over. You've lost. You've had a month to knock me off of just the top 20, and you can't do it because not that I'm that great. It's just that there's other good players out there, and they need to be listened to. So that's it. But I do want to show you some of the other special effects that while I was getting these scores, I was also working on. So let's see if I can find one. That transition right there is one. This. Here's another one. I made this little fire shader that you can put in your background. This is for StreamFX because I support other people that make other plugins too. And it has different modes, so I can put it in just like this mode, and you can do, there's all sorts of options to change what the fire looks like. There's a simple like embers, there's embers floating around, and you can change the speed and direction and things like that. You can change how many embers. I can make a lot or a few. And a lot of these were converted from shader toy. Here's a fire one. I've been using this one on my stream, but the thing about the fire one is that it has two modes. So it's got this mode and it's got this mode. And you can see that I use it in different places. Like here, you can see it on my little logo over there. That's just the fire shader. So now the other point I want to make is that the stats that they try to use in stat shaming are disingenuous, right? It doesn't matter what stats you have. They're going to come up with some excuse to protect what they perceive as their power and try to discredit you on some ridiculous other stat, right? So stats can be used in a lot of ways, and you just have to realize that they're disingenuous. They're just trying to protect what they perceive as their power. Now, I hope this is all done right. We've shown that other players are good. We've shown that other players have experience and understand the game, and even the fact that I can play the game and get good stats, and then them say, "Oh, he's doing something different." That in itself means that I understand the game, and other people understand the game, right? So they've proven themselves wrong. If this isn't enough, then the next step is maybe I'll join some good team and we'll destroy whatever stats they want. You know, if they say, "Oh, well, you need a kill-death ratio of whatever," or, you know, it's bullshit. We know it's bullshit. They're just trying to come up with whatever they can to justify themselves. But maybe that's the next step. Maybe I'll just join some good team and we'll destroy those stats, because it's obvious on a 4-man team it's almost impossible to lose if you've got a good 4-man in the solo queue. So anyway, that's my overview for season 49. People that are cheating on Reddit are sure as hell cheating in the game. There's lots of ways to exploit this game, and you know, don't listen to people like that. They might be, you know, gregarious, or maybe they're drinking a lot of caffeine before they go on their stream or something. But that doesn't mean they're good people. They're obviously lying. They're obviously trying to be insulting and hurt other people. They're not good. So that's my opinion. Good luck, and I hope you guys find a good way to have fun in Mechwarrior. And if there's ever anything I can do for you as a streamer or a player, I will always be there. Have a good day.